Ladies and gents, welcome back. Justin Trudeau, proving himself to be the laughingstock of the Western world, takes to Twitter recently to show off his European tour of schmoozing with world leaders, preaching about how we can defend democracy. This as democracy is under fire by, you guessed it, Justin Trudeau in Canada. Travis Danraj, surprisingly, a reporter from CBC, called into question the purpose of this trip at all.
A lot of Canadians are back at home kind of wondering and watching this trip and seeing a lot of photo ops, a lot of broad platitudes, and not many specifics when it comes to details. Why couldn't these meetings been done from Canada? Why does the Prime Minister, the Deputy Prime Minister, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, and Defence Minister need to be in Europe right now when there are a lot of domestic issues at home that are very important? And some people view this as a photo op trip to Europe.
Well, the only person I've heard saying that is you. But
there are many people that are saying that.
But let me just say that this is a really, really important trip for the Prime Minister and for Canada. The Russian invasion of Ukraine.
It's an important trip. She goes on to say that it's really difficult to get a secure phone line. I don't think any other world leaders have been having that problem recently. This as MPs come under fire, MPs to get a pay raise. This is members of parliament. All of them are meant to get a pay raise, just as Canada is seeing a hike in carbon taxes that's scheduled for April 1st. So that's coming up. Justin Trudeau himself is going to get a pay raise of $21,000 per year. You guys can see that, how we're paying for that at the gas pump. And these stickers being posted at gas pumps all over Canada. Justin Trudeau saying, I did that. And surprisingly, this was early in the stage because gas prices are much higher than that even. We even have prominent comedians in Canada. We have Andrew Schultz here taking swipes at Trudeau.
Yo, Punjabis, be honest. When Trudeau did the Punjabi face, what was more offensive? Did he put on the turban or he made y'all dark skinned? Which was more offensive? A bunch of Punjabis in the group chat like, yo, how the fuck are you gonna make us Sri Lankan, bro? This is crazy, yo. We're from the north of India. We're fair skinned. We light-skinned Indians over here. Get it right, Trudeau. Oh, this guy Trudeau. Shut the fuck up, this guy. Does anybody, does anybody like him? Nobody likes him, right? Scared of some truckers. You saw that show. Well, I have COVID. I can't come out. His dad would be so embarrassed, dude. Because Fidel Castro was all about protest.
Nails it. Totally nails it there. We also had Justin Trudeau is getting roasted by the British press. This is what happens when journalists aren't on your payroll.
Would you like to make your final nomination?
Yes, this angers me.
Does it?
This actually really angers me.
Does it involve TV?
No, well, it does. It involves someone going on television and talking the biggest load of claptrap I've ever heard in my life. And that is, of course, the pretty boy himself. He's got a foppish head who looks like Hugh Grant. It is Justin Trudeau.
Oh, yes.
The Canadian
He's
Prime
here, isn't
Minister. He did a press conference with Mr. Viral himself,
What's he doing
Boris
here,
Johnson.
by the way?
Oh, he went to meet the Queen, did a little visit.
You know,
and
as if the poor cow hasn't had enough to deal with this year. She has to put up with him.
I'm surprised he didn't freeze her bank account and have a go at her for protesting, because he gave this great long diatribe today against Putin, saying that he wants respect for sovereignty, he wants to have democracy stood for, he wants to stay true to these values, he wants to fight for that all over the world. This was a man that basically froze the bank accounts of truckers, decided that he was going to forcibly round them up. He took tactics directly out of the rule book of Vladimir Putin to deal with his own people. And then he has the audacity and the lack of self-awareness to stand at a podium and tell us that he wants to fight for sovereignty and democracy. He's a hypocrite, he has a neck made of brass, and he's a moron. And he's a plank.
He really is. He's been
time.
on this show already this year for some of the actions that he's taken. So for him to be on it yet again, that's going to keep keeping pretty much up there.
But he also, all the protesting truckers, most of whom were vaccinated, by the way, in any case, he also branded them racist and misogynist, didn't he? And when a Conservative MP stood up and said, like, you can't say that, you can't slander them that way, he said, well, maybe you might be happy to stand with swastikas and Confederate flags, but I'm not. She was a Jewish MP.
Yes.
He really is an absolute idiot.
Plank of the planks.
Does he have no self-awareness as to what he was...
Any case, there's the one country that Trudeau has admitted to really admiring.
Oh, yeah. China.
China.
Yeah. I thought I was a guess, actually.
Funny that, yeah.
He likes China.
An
absolute plank.
The basic dictatorship has allowed him to actually turn their economy round. Okay.
Am I right?
Yikes. We have Russell Brand also taking swipes at Justin Trudeau.
Even then, before Justin Trudeau became a sort of figure of loathing as a result of the trucker actions, and I'm sure for other things that I've not been following, he literally, while he's still in his boy band phase, is openly declaring affection for Chinese state authoritarianism.
Because their basic dictatorship is allowing them to actually turn their economy around on a dime and say, we need to go green as fast as we need to start, investing in solar.
If only we had a dictatorship. Don't worry, Justin. Future you has got that covered.
Yeah, right. And this, meanwhile, in the United States of America, where you have truck protests happening at the moment as we speak, we have U.S. representatives, senators sitting down with the trucker protesters and hearing their grievances. This is how democracy works, ladies and gentlemen. But meanwhile, in Canada, we have Trudeau has irreparably damaged our country. Asked why he supported some protests, but he determined to crush the trucker convoy, Justin Trudeau answered without hesitation. He supported and even participated in protests he agreed with, but he did not support, and vowed to crush those with unacceptable views, that is, views he disagrees with. Now, this is something to remember, folks. Highlighted are the countries that still require a vaccine to leave the country. It's time to wake up, Canada. Time to wake up and keep on trucking.